So, you know, I totally agree with what they're saying, and that's wonderful that they've accomplished that. That's really, I mean, that is success. That's wonderful. For me personally, I find that because it is my nature to grow and expand, and I mean, even though I couldn't have a better life right now, and I feel so great, I still feel like I want to know more, do more, be the best I can be. I want to live according to my highest purpose. So for me, I think my biggest fear is becoming stagnant and not moving at all. I always want to be growing and expanding. So I think that's a journey of self-discovery in and of itself. But, you know, congratulations for really living the life that you want. That's really great. And that could be an inspiration for so many people.
Yeah, absolutely. And here are some more comments that it also has to do with age. And one of our listeners says, I didn't feel that way at 20. And then another comment, young people aren't into self-coaching because they don't care. And that's an interesting comment that really hits home with me, because one of my goals is really to affect young people. The reason why Real Coaching Radio Network is on Blog TV is because I would like to make a difference in the life of young people. Because life doesn't have to be as difficult as I had it. And I can relate to a lot of the young people on Blog TV. I remember when I was 17, 18, 19, I didn't care either. But I also didn't have anybody tell me these things that we're discussing on Real Coaching Radio Network and what you are covering, Liz. So how do you feel about young people and how we can make a difference for them?
Yes, well, you know, I felt the same way. when I was a teenager, I felt like nobody cares, I don't care, and that's what led me on this path, because I felt so empty and angry and lost, and what is the purpose of life, you know? And so when I started to hear little tidbits of information here and there, and I was like, wait a minute, you mean I can create this life that I really want? I can be happy? What is it like to be happy? I was curious, you know, and that's life. That's what I'm so glad I went through that, because it created this burning desire within me to know more, to figure out what it is that I really wanted to do. How can I achieve this? How can I bring this into my life and have all the things that I want and really enjoy life? And there's hope, and basically where they're at right now, where the teenagers are at, you know, basically a lot of the times is, you know, your environment that you're raised in. A lot of times our parents aren't aware of the universal laws and the unlimited potential and all the things that you offer through your network, Steve. Okay? And so what happens is that a lot of times, because our parents love us, they try to control and restrict and impress their ideas or their truth of how they perceive life. Okay? And as you start to understand that every single thought operates according to universal and stable laws, what you place your attention on with your thoughts and your feelings, and you will start to observe into your reality. You'll start to observe actual experiences that prove your thoughts and feelings, okay? And so what happens is and then the more you place your attention on them by reliving them, re-experiencing them, and re-observing them, they start to become stronger and stronger until it's your reality. And a lot of times, that's what our parents and the people around us are trying to impress upon us, is what their observations of life have been up until this point. And what that does is if it doesn't feel good to the person or the children that are hearing it, the basis of who they really are is threatened, which is we are born inherently free. And what I mean by that is that we all possess free will abilities of choice and decision to think and feel anything that we want to feel. That is the only thing in life that you can control, is how you think and how you feel in every moment, okay? And a lot of times the environment that we're brought up in, and it's not the fault of the parents and the teachers and the people that are surrounding, because they don't know any better. They love you, and they're just trying to impress what they perceive reality to be, what they perceive their truth to be, and they try to impress it upon you, and they're successful at it because it's energy, and you naturally absorb it because you hear it, on a daily basis, but it doesn't feel good, and so it starts to create this, this void within you, because it doesn't really align with who you really are on the inside. But the good news is that it's providing the contrast. It's birthing desire within you to find what it is that you really want. And so they're actually there, and you'll notice as you grow older in years and in wisdom and in knowledge that they're there in your life for a reason, because they're actually pushing you to be who you really are, to be who you really desire, whether you can identify that right now or not. But it's all there for it's your journey, and it's everything happens for a reason, everything, and we all grow from that.
Right, and we're going to share the last comments, and we're going to wrap up the show. Here's one. I'm 22, but honestly, I don't care too much, but I stumbled into this room because it was featured. So what's interesting about the comment is, so the truth for me is the only thing I want for young people is to live their dreams and their passions. That's all. That's all I want for young people. Not waste their young lives on resisting their parents, resisting their teachers, doing drugs, drink themselves to death. I would prefer that they wouldn't go to be destructive, because they hadn't figured out at that young age how to get to their passion and how to get clarity about their purpose. So that is the truth for me. What about you, Liz?
Yeah, and part of that were those teenage years, and I have 3 daughters, so I'm going to really be put to the test. But they have to work out that part of their life, because their ego at this point in their life, which is to ensure their security and survival in the environment and on this planet, is not at all mature. And so they're really busy. I have nieces and nephews that are teenagers, and you see them doing these things. It's like, you just feel so bad because you don't want them to waste their time. But they have to go through it. It's their learning experience. And their ego, it has to mature. And usually the ego doesn't start to mature until later 20s. And it's all about, identifying with what groups they fit into. So, hey, maybe if I drink a bunch of beers and get really drunk, I'll fit in with these really cool people, and then I'll be really cool. I mean, unless they're brought up from birth, knowing how to nurture and fulfill the self, they really strongly identify with their ego, with their false sense of self. And that's just, unfortunately, that's just how the process of life, it's a process of becoming. So what this woman or this user could do is just, wow, what a powerful intention that she's putting out there, that I wish that they could, and just hold that space. So for me, when I think about my daughters going through that, and it's like, how am I going to react and respond, which is the only thing that we really can control, because we can't control what they're doing, is that, making sure that they really feel loved, that there is a space of support around them. And then you just hold the vision and